Aside from me, when reading this chapter for the first time, messing up on a crap ton of names and forgetting names, this chapter was actually insane. Hey everyone, what is going on? Shark Tank here with the first ever review for One Piece. I wasn't even planning to do reviews for One Piece, just only reactions, but I feel like with this chapter being so insane and rereading it, finding out like things that I just missed while reading it in my initial reaction, I have to talk about this dude. This chapter is actually nuts, and pretty much like because this is the first time ever I'm doing a review for a chapter, which I'm not, like, I really don't know anything about doing reviews at all in terms of like stuff just in general. I'm really gonna have to go by this pretty much almost panel by panel. Not only just because this is the first time I'm doing a review, but just because there is so much in this chapter. So I'm gonna have to break this down panel by panel. There's gonna be a lot of jump cuts, I guess, so we can just break this down, man. Okay, so pretty much in the beginning, we find out, with, Roger and Oden, that pretty much, they showed this off screen, they never showed this, but pretty much Roger, explains to Oden that, hey, I already got one of the road poneglyphs from Lin Lin, aka Big Mom. And you see like kind of like a picture of how Big Mom used to look, and she looked way different, way much more, for lack of a better term, healthy, in the past, and how she looks now. And I pretty much just kind of like how, like, with what happened with, like, Brook, they kind of, like, had to, like, sheet down the road poneglyph, just, like, kind of like how Brook did, and kind of, like, write it down. That turned out what they did, and then kind of, like, scrammed after, they dipped after, obviously. You see them go down to Water 7, and they meet Tom, or they see Tom again, because, Tom's the one that built Roger's ship, right? But the crazy thing is, in this flashback, we find out that, they meet up with Tom again. Oden meets Franky? What? And in essence, it's highly huge chance implied that Franky met Roger. Like you see Oden, and I have it, back up now on my other monitor. He's saying like, hey, you're open? You want me to put in a good word with our captain? Saying like, hey, you want to join our crew? And Franky's like, obviously, because, back then, his history, he's like, no, I got ditched by pirates. My parents were pirates, they ditched me. No, I hate pirates. And, funny enough, because, he becomes a pirate, he joins the Straw Hats. But that's insane. Like, when I saw that in my reaction, I was like, dang, that's insane. I cannot believe Oden and possibly even Roger met Franky back in the day. Like, that's so nuts. And as far as I can tell, they kind of just went back there to Water 7, and again, like, in my reaction, I was forgetting so many of these names. I'm sorry, I don't know why I was forgetting names. Really, really weird to me. Again, maybe I was just on the spot, but like, it was super weird why I kept forgetting so many names, or mispronouncing names, or like, saying names for other people when really their names were something else. It was weird, but like, they pretty much just stopped there, right? And it kind of just shows them going along to just different islands and different places, while they're singing Bink Sake, Brook's song. Well, I mean, it's not Brook's song, but like, it's pretty much Brook's song. They're singing Bink Sake. Again, I didn't realize that in my reaction, because, like, the way that I always heard it in terms of like how they actually, like, I guess kind of like sing it in terms of like the English lyrics. I don't know, like, when I read it, it didn't click in my head that it was like the same song, because I guess the way I hear it all the time sounds different in terms of like the actual like English lyrics, but like, that's crazy. They sing, and again, they call it, I'm reading right now, they call it Bink's Brew. So I was like, one reason why it didn't click in my head that was Bink Sake, but that's Bink Sake, so I thought that was crazy, right? And then afterwards, they then go back to Fish Island, and Oden explains to Roger how, like, back with Whitebeard, he went to Fishman Island already, and as we see in the flashback, but as we see back in the arc with Fishman Island, Whitebeard, he declares that, Fishman Island back when he was alive was his territory, and anyone that goes to his territory gets knocked out. So, yeah, we already know that already, but now we know that, Oden also went there back when Whitebeard first came there and declared that to be his territory, right? And pretty much, Roger, Oden, and the whole crew, they go to Fishman Island, and Oden, alongside with Roger, they get the strange feeling that, like, they can, like, kind of, like, hear a voice, kind of, and we can kind of already tell that those are the sea creatures, the Neptunians. Again, the kind of like wording that they use here in the official Viz translation is different than what I normally hear, because like normally, like, when they go to Fishman Island and you see like the giant beasts, they're called either the sea beasts or the kings of the sea. Here they're calling them the Neptunians, so it didn't click in my head that they were talking about specifically them. But like Roger and Oden, they're like, wait, we hear these voices and we know that they're talking about the kings of the sea, the giant sea beasts, right? And pretty much you can kind of like see in the panel, like one of the sea beasts kind of realizes, oh wait, they can actually hear us? Like what? But yeah, pretty much Roger, he's like, hey Neptune, it's been a while. Hey, I'm here to talk to you about something, right? But Neptune, he's like, nah, dude, nah, I'm not here to chat with you, even though you came down here to visit for something. But you can't talk right now because pretty much, again, the Fishman, the fish woman from the Fishman Island arc, her name was Shirley. She was the one that could like prophesize and see the future. Pretty much like right now in the flashback, she's 3, right? And she's making all these prophecies where like people are like, wait, she could actually see the future? And one of the prophecies that, you know, like she was saying was that like pretty much someone is gonna come in to destroy the Fishman gates of Fishman Island, and pretty much that does happen, but it wasn't caused by Roger, it was caused by one of these kings of the sea, one of the giant sea beasts, right? And we find out also about Shirley and her prophecies, right? We find out more about like one of the 3 ancient weapons of destruction, pretty much, aka Shirahoshi. Again, I don't know why, I was forgetting these names. But Shirahoshi, Neptune's daughter, we find out more information about her, about how she's one of the weapons, and that pretty much every couple of centuries, a new fishman pretty much comes up in Fishman Island that has the powers to control the sea beast, and they become the new weapon. So Shirahoshi right now in the current time, she's the current new weapon to control the sea beast. So that's very interesting. We never had this information before because, like, again, it was saying in the past how someone had the ability, so it was kind of like, wait a minute, how did someone in the past have the ability and classified as a weapon back then 800 years ago, you know, back in the Void Century? And now Shirahoshi has the ability and now she's the new weapon. So every couple of centuries, someone becomes the new weapon. And as far as I can tell, it's one of the fishmen that can control the sea beast. So that was very, very interesting, right? Pretty much Roger, Odin, and the whole Roger Pirates, the reason why they're really here at Fishman Island is to find out more information about the people who were behind the ancient weapons and behind the Void Century, and that's where they're here. They're trying to like find more clues, right? Aside from just getting the Royal Poneglyphs, right? Because, you know, aside from the Royal Poneglyphs, that's like the main way to get to the final island, to get the treasure that apparently the people from the Void Century left behind. And that's why they're there, right? And pretty much we find out, or we see the kind of like stone poneglyph from Joy Boy, the guy that we still know nothing about, or until now we find out more information about Joy Boy, like again, and like how like we see, you know, his stone poneglyph about how he was apologizing to the people of Fishman Island. Okay, and pretty much we now see that Toki's sick, that pretty much I guess once they get kind of close to Wano, she gets really sick. Pretty much she's been traveling with Roger and Odin for a long time, so I guess like she was like trying to like hold back anything that could really like stop her. And I guess like once they finally got to Wano, everything, you know, in terms of like she was going through, in terms of like I guess kind of like physical body was starting to like really catch up with her in terms of like a sickness. So they're like, okay, while we're here, let's drop Toki off so that, you know, she can rest, not be on the ship, because, you know, being on the ship is not good for your health, you know. So they're like, okay, let's drop her off while we're here getting the Royal Poneglyph, right? And Inurashi and Nekomamushi, they're like, you know what, let's stay with her too, because pretty much we can just drop her off. No one's gonna know who she is, right? But, you know, they know us, so we'll tell her, hey, about how Odin married her and how, you know, they have kids, you know, yeah, they're like, okay, let's stay there, you know, with her, right? And Odin, you know, obviously, you know, that's his wife, you know? He's like, no, I'm staying too. Of course, you know, you guys are gonna say, but I gotta stay too. But Toki's like, no, Odin, listen, that's not the kind of man I married. You have to go. If you don't go, if you stay with me in Wano, we are getting a divorce. I was like, geesh. I mean, come on. Like, he's trying to stay with you. Like, you're really, really sick. And, you know, obviously, as far as we can tell, you know, she gets better. Because, you know, like, later on, you know, Orochi, from what we can kind of tell, you know, kills her in a fire. So, yeah. But, you know, like, she's like, no, Odin, stay with Roger. Don't go, don't leave, or don't stay here with me. And then while Odin and Roger, they're all in Wano, Kinemon and all, you know, Odin's followers, they're all like, Odin, you're back. And obviously, because, you know, Odin, he's been away for about 4 years now, Odin doesn't realize that Orochi has taken over everything and that he's become the new shogun of everything in Wano. So they're all trying to like tell him, Odin, listen, we have to tell you what's happened in Wano while you're gone. But I guess, I don't know why, because like, before they can say anything, Odin's like, listen, I gotta go. Like, he only, like, from what we can tell in the chapter, he only stayed there for a few hours, so for some reason, within those, guess, couple of hours of him getting the Royal Poneglyph and dipping, they weren't able to tell Odin about all the bad stuff that's happened in Wano, and how, you know, Orochi's taken over everything. But, like, yeah, like, and, like, again, it's really weird, because, like, you would, like, think that, you know, like, maybe they'll, like, really get the words in to tell him, hey, what's happened in Wano, what happened with Orochi, and Odin's dad. Because again, like in the chapter, it says like he was there for a couple of hours just to get the Royal Poneglyph. So maybe I'm assuming that, you know, like he went to Wano and Kinemon and the others didn't realize until the moment he had to leave So like maybe he went to go get the royal poneglyph, copied it all down, went back to the ship, and the moment he was about to go back onto the ship, that's when Kinemon and all the others like found him there, like trying to like tell him, but then he was like, no, listen, you have to stay here. I gotta go. Leave Toki here. She's my wife. Look after her, please. And like again, like Odin's saying, like I'll be leaving for quite some time, and Kinemon's just kind of looking like, what? And even as Odin leaves, like he's aware something's kind of off here. And I know that maybe they know also, and they're trying to tell me, but like I know that if I stay back here in Wano, I'll never go back out to sea again. So it's kind of hard to tell whether or not he made the right choice or not, because obviously initially he wanted to stay, but Toki was telling him, no, you have to go out to sea. That's not the kind of man I married to just give up on a goal. You have to go out to sea. And again, like in terms of whether or not that was the right thing to do, I don't know. So then they finally make it to where the last royal poneglyph is, and that is the island of Zou. And the moment that they get there, again, just like in Fisherman Island, Odin and Roger, they get this strange feeling of something is just kind of off, like something huge is watching them, right? Now, again, I'm not sure what that can be. Either they're talking about the elephant itself, because again, in current time, Luffy and Momonosuke, when they went to Zou, they also had this kind of like strange feeling, and then they heard the giant elephant of Zou talking to them to give them the orders to like take down, again, I'm forgetting his name, but like the leader or the second in command of Kaido's crew. And yeah, so maybe it's kind of like the same thing there, or specifically maybe it's the whale, the tree-shaped whale, or like the whale-shaped tree of the island. Maybe that's alive, maybe, and it's kind of like staring at them. I don't know. I don't know. And the crazy thing is, Pedro, okay? Pedro, the line that he tells Carrot before he dies, where like everyone gets their like chance to do something big, someday it'll be your turn. Like he gets that from Roger. Roger's the one that told him that. Like, that's just insane. I never thought Roger would be the one to tell him that. But then Roger tells Pedro, he's like, wow. Like, cause Pedro, he's like, wait, let me go with you. I want to go out to sea. But Roger's like, no, dude. Everyone gets a chance someday to do something big. And while it's not your turn yet, it will be someday. So Pedro's like, wait, my turn? Wow. And Roger's like, yeah. And when that time comes, then you can help us. And then he then passes that on to Carrot before he dies. In the Big Mom arc, and like, dang, like I just never imagined Roger was the one to tell him that. Like, I find that actually really crazy, So then, once they finally get all of the 4 royal poneglyphs, they kind of like stop at like some port town. Again, I can't tell if that's an island that we've been to before in the current time, but they stop at like a port town to say like, hey, we got all the 4 royal poneglyphs. We now know the whole location to where Raftel is. Are we ready to go? And we see Roger, looking more sick because some time's passed, and and again, I'm forgetting his name because I actually do like legitimately forget his name, but pretty much the doctor of the ship. Pretty much he says, way back in like 2 chapters ago, he was saying how Roger only has like a year left to, keep living. So we see him more sick now, but like they're all like, hey, are we ready to go to the final island Raftel? And Roger's like, yeah, let's go right now. But the crazy thing is, I never imagined this would be the case. I always just assumed that they went to. Buggy and Shanks did not go to Raftel. For some reason, from some crazy chance, like Buggy got sick at the last minute, right before they were about to go to Raftel. But like he's like, no, I can go, I want to go to the final island too. But they're all like, no, dude, no, you're sick, stay here, you're not going to Raftel. And Shanks, like it's kind of saying in the chapter maybe they're doing it because they're like mortal enemies or best friends. No, they're friends. It's just that they're friends. Like he's like, I'm gonna stay here with Buggy to make sure that he's okay. You guys go on without us. Someday, we're gonna take our own ship and go there as well when we're ready, when we become full-fledged pirates. Again, I was like, when I was reading that in my reaction, I was like, dang, they never went to Raftel. That's crazy. I thought they always, I assume at the very least Shanks went, but I guess even Shanks didn't go. And I find that just, I guess, like, I don't know, like, very, interesting, like, I always just assumed that they just both went too, and maybe they knew the history, and for whatever reason, they, including especially Buggy, just didn't say anything. But nope, they just never went. And then the big kicker, like, the final 2 pages of this chapter that blew me away. We find out Odin. Okay, so it's showing Odin, I'm assuming after his whole voyage with Roger, writing down his history of everything that, he's done on sea, right? And he writes down, once they went to the final island, they found out not only the 100-year mystery of what the Void Century is, who the people of D are, and what the ancient weapons are and what they were made for. But they see the final vast treasure that was left behind on the final island, Raftel, right? And the reaction that Roger and the whole crew, including Odin, have when they see the treasure in Raftel is that they all just laugh. All of them. And the thing is, in my reaction, I'm assuming Roger is laughing just because, you know, like Roger, he kind of laughs a lot. So I'm just assuming maybe he just laughed just because. But no, they're all laughing. It says literally in the chapter, they were laughing so hard that tears started to fall down their faces when they see what the treasure is in Raftel. What the heck is this treasure? Like, I'm assuming, is it like some kind of like troll treasure? Like maybe it's like a joke or something? But like, I don't believe that's the case because, you know, Oda, he confirmed that, you know, like the treasure will actually be a thing. It won't just be like, oh, the journey itself or the friends you meet along the way. It will be an actual thing. Whatever it is, apparently it just makes them all laugh. They're all laughing. And you see literally in the page, in the whole panel, they're all laughing, including Odin. They're laughing so hard that they just start crying. And what's even crazier after that, I didn't realize this until I reread it, like for this review. Joy Boy. Okay, Roger says that, oh Joy Boy, I wish I'd been born in your time. This is quite a treasure you've left behind. Joy Boy is the one that leaves One Piece in Raftel? Who the heck is Joy Boy? Who the heck is Joy Boy? Like the thing is, back in Fishman Island, back when I first saw that arc, I saw, you know, Joy Boy and everything that he's done, and he was like another mysterious character and another mysterious element in the whole One Piece universe, right? But I'm thinking, okay, he's a mysterious, you know, like element in One Piece, but you know, he can't be that big, you know. I know, obviously, I'm not, you know, I'm not undermining Oda. I know Oda can do some crazy things, right? But I'm assuming that like he's just one of the mysteries, not one of the biggest mysteries. He is one of the big, he's the one that left One Piece in Raftel. Or should I say, Laftel? Because we find out that, man, since we're one of the first people to make it here in the last 800 years, let's give this island a name. And because we were laughing so hard at what the treasure is, because they finally saw it, let's call the island Laftel. And that gets the name later on to Raftel. Raftel's real name is actually called Laugh-Tale. Laftel or Laugh-Tale. I just cannot, I cannot believe this chapter. Like, rereading the chapter, I was already hyped when I first read the chapter in my reaction, right? But rereading it for this review was actually insane. There was just so many things that I didn't realize because I was so in the moment when reading it. This chapter is actually insane. I cannot believe the amount of new information, lore, characters that meet up, characters that get left behind before going to Raftel, or should I say Laftel. Like, I cannot believe, 10 out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10. I now get why people are saying that this chapter is best chapter of the decade. Well, I mean, technically it's not, because, you know, this came out in 2020, translations came out before 2020, but like, I get why they're saying. I get why people were saying this chapter was insane. This was beyond insane. Like, I thought the last two chapters were really, really good. Not one of my favorites, personally speaking, even though it had major plot, you know, elements for the overall series. But like, it was still very, very good, right? This is actually insane. This chapter is actually insane. This chapter beats those two chapters by a landslide. A full-on landslide. I cannot believe this chapter. Personally, to me, this chapter is a 10 out of 10. There's just so much new information. It really makes me wonder who Joy Boy is and what the One Piece is. What is the... So, really think about this, right? Towards the the final bit end of the series, Luffy, everyone, the whole Straw Hat crew, they're gonna get to Raftel. They get all 4 world poneglyphs and make it to Raftel, should I say Laftel. They're not only gonna find out what the 100-year Void Century is, who the people of D are, what the ancient weapons are for, but they see One Piece, and whatever it is, it's going to make them laugh? What the heck is this treasure? Like, it's so crazy. And again, I'm reiterating, but I don't care. Joy Boy is the one that left One Piece there. I cannot believe that. I didn't realize that in my reaction when I was reading it. He's the one that leaves One Piece there? How did he get One Piece? Did he make it? I don't know, dude. This chapter is actually insane. I mean, this was actually insane. Personally with me, it became 10 times more insane when I reread it. Because, like, it was already insane the first time, but, like, rereading it, I was like, what the heck? This chapter is insane. I cannot wait for the next chapter. We're not on break, sort of. We do technically have a 2-week break, but it's the 2 weeks ends on Sunday, so it pretty much is like a week and 1 day in terms of when the next chapter is gonna drop. But I cannot wait for that. I'm not sure if we'll do another review unless the next chapter is also very, very just insane. But what do you all think, guys? Again, this is my first review ever for any kind of manga. Well, actually, you know what? That's a lie. I take that back. It's not true. I did it for Kingdom Hearts. But in terms of One Piece, this is the first time I ever did a review for it. What do you all think, guys? Again, sorry this was kind of all over the place and very choppy. I tried to make this kind of like the best I could in terms of like kind of like cutting this up into like the organized way. But just, what do you all think, guys? Have a great, awesome, and amazing day. I'll see you all later, okay? Peace.